Good afternoon, or should I say good evening to the people that are visiting us today from the UK. That's right, we are going international with Brewhouse Music Live. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have James from Midnight at 6 joining us, and I am your host, Wes Cole. You can find me on Instagram at Wes Cole. And without further ado, let's bring our guest in.
Hello, Wes. How are you?
Hey!
You'll have to excuse if
How's
I
it
don't
going,
look like.
James?
Good, thank you. You'll have to excuse if I don't look like the photos, considering there's no hairdressers open for a while. I've had to
Yeah,
do the hairdressing things myself. So I've got a bit of a skinhead going at the moment.
yeah, you buzzed it off. Couldn't take
Yeah.
the quarantine locks, huh?
Thank you very much for having us.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have you on the show today. Before we get started, let's just talk about how you got involved in music, how you formed the band.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I mean, for years, well, I guess since about sort of started playing at 14, then kind of into my teens, going to through school the usual, trying to form bands and then trying to find committed people. So then I started getting into filling in for other function bands. So I started playing weddings and functions, and I guess that's what kind of is a lot of influence behind the songwriting for Midnight at 6. So yeah, I was doing weddings and functions, playing up and down the country for holiday parks and clients, that sort of way. And then probably after a sort of a few years, it got to the point where I thought, do I want to do this forever, or kind of go in, while I'm still young, the original side of things. So with about 6 weeks' notice, I rang up the University of Liverpool, who a few friends had gone to, and they said, yeah, we've got some places. So I just jumped on a spot there and then for Liverpool and then found the rest of the guys that way. So
Very cool. And were you guys all studying music over there, or?
yeah. So funny enough, myself, Joe, who plays guitar. For everybody watching, by the way, the band are all in the comments. If you want to hear that. So we've got Joe on guitar and Dave, who's our bass player, who we met on the very first day. We got put in the same groups on the first day, and then Luke, who's our keys player, is on the tech side of stuff, but we still perform together through uni. And then Barney does music tech, and Barney actually does half German as well. So our drummer can speak fluent German for when the time comes.
There you go. That's a good thing to have. Nice. Well, awesome. Great. So, I mean, we're super excited to hear you play. Do you want to tell us what song you're going to play first?
Yeah, sure. So for those of you who don't know us, so we're all about feel good vibes, having a great time, and so we thought it might be fitting to carry on with that theme tonight, especially with depending on where you're watching this in the world with the lockdown and things. So I'm going to play our first song, which is, funnily enough, is how you discovered us, Wes. Stay Young. Without further ado, so give us a hand or a hand sign if the connection's a bit dodgy or anything. If you want me to start again or anything, just let me know. Cool. So
All
this
right.
is drum to go, yeah?
Yeah, sounds good to go. A little bit of latency, but I think we're okay right now. Yeah,
Okay.
take it away.
So this is cool. So this is Stay Young. So and I've been trying all so long to work out what road I'm on, to work my way and get through tonight. I work out what's inside. I don't quite know where I'm gonna go on my own, out to the unknown. Stay young tonight, yeah. Stay young, it will be alright, yeah. Stay young tonight, it will be alright. Alright, stay young tonight, yeah. I always hoped I would find you here. I always hoped that it would be so real. With you, I feel like I finally fly. With you, I feel alive inside. Outside your door, I've gotta see you once more. On the floor, about to lose it all. Stay young tonight, yeah. Stay young, it will be alright, yeah. Stay young tonight, it will be alright. Alright, stay young tonight. Stay young tonight, yeah. Stay young, it will be alright, yeah. Stay young tonight, it will be alright. Alright, stay young tonight. Stay young tonight.
Right. Nice. Yeah, that's a really fun song. It's a nice lighthearted message. I think everyone kind of needs that kind of feeling right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're just all about, I mean, why be miserable when you can be happy? So we're all about having a good time, you know, and just choruses that are simple and easy and you can sing your heart out to and just have a beer and have a great time.
Hey, well, cheers to that. So how's the band doing today? I mean, we've all been stuck in quarantine now. Uh, Tell me how things have changed and adjusted.
Um, so things have actually, in many ways, have actually kind of helped because obviously we've got the quarantine. We've been very strict with keeping like a regular routine. So every Wednesday we'll have a meeting over FaceTime and discuss how the week's going and things like that. We'll all have tasks to do for the week. And then every Saturday night we have a virtual night out. So so yeah, we'll get together on a Saturday night and have some drinks and stuff anyway. And yeah, it's actually been quite good because it just gave us chance to do some of the things that we haven't got around to or have been putting off for a while, like getting a website ready and things like that. And and stuff. So it's not been too bad. I mean, we all are itching to sort of get back rehearsing and do a gig, as any band I'm sure is. But it's actually been not too bad. And I think just keeping a routine as best you can. Not letting things fall by the wayside.
Yeah. Now I've heard you guys have got a little bit of notoriety from these after parties that happen. Tell me a little bit about some of those and maybe the craziest one so far.
Oh, right, okay. So I guess we were playing at the band Bud Light doesn't count. Yes, so I occasionally have an alcohol free. So Joey's currently teasing me about having Bud Light. So yeah, we were playing at a venue in Liverpool called Studio 2, and we were supporting a band called Only Son, and we were the support band, and we sold all our tickets. and we thought it'd be a great idea to invite everybody back to our house after the show.
Yeah.
Which was good in some ways because it was a really good party, but we were living in student housing at the time, and they have a strict curfew of 11 o'clock. But we were still going at 7 o'clock in the morning, which didn't please a lot of the neighbours, and we'd already had a verbal warning from the management. So anyway, there's a big, massive argument going off with the neighbours behind the fence, and it was all just getting, and then security turns up, and it's all this like, it's all kicking off big style, and things like that. And so security is like, you need to sort this out, and it's just getting more and more in there. And then some of our friends get, it's just bad to us. And then about 3 weeks later, I'm getting into bed at about midnight, and all of a sudden I hear a massive bang. What the hell is that? I thought all the washing up had fell off the side, but no, it was a boulder had been thrown through the back window from the neighbours. So we had to go and have a very polite conversation with the management, but it all worked out because we got moved into a much nicer house, and we still just carried on the party just the same. So
a regular old Project X right there.
it was certainly interesting. It was just like, well, yeah, that's just another one for the band biography, I guess. But we don't try and annoy neighbours on purpose, just putting it out there for anybody ends up living next to us. But it's just one of the many stories, I guess. But it's all part of the fun.
That's great. I mean, those are stories you can write songs about someday. It's those crazy nights.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So before you start your next song, I just want to do a quick test. If you were to turn your volume down just a little bit, because I think it may have been clipping the sound. Try just a wee bit.
Yeah, sure.
And then let me hear you just play like a quick like line or so, just to see.
Okay, so the chorus or something. Let me just turn it down a little bit for you. I'll just try that. I'll just try a chorus again of that same song. So be alright. How's that?
I think that's better. Yeah, I think that's definitely better. What do you guys think in the chat? Does that sound better?
What do you think?
Let's see. We've got Chaza saying it was crazy indeed. Were they there for that wild event?
Yeah, and that'll be Luke saying, "Tell them about the brick." And he said, which is from Barney. Yeah.
All right. Sounds
okay.
good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
So tell us about this next song that you're going to play.
Cool. So this song came out in January of this year, and we're good friends with a great band who are doing incredibly well. They've toured Europe, and a band called Spin over in Liverpool. And Andy, the guitarist, they're very sort of Smith's influence, and Andy was very kind to offer to just play with us on the track. So this track is called Driving Through the Night, and Andy, from anybody who's watching who doesn't know the band Spin, go check them out. They're really great guys. He plays some guitar parts in this track. But yeah, this song is called Driving Through the Night, and it's about getting through life's more difficult times. So I thought it'd be fitting for what's going on with everything around the world. So as with any hard times, the best way is always just keep driving straight through it, and you'll get through it.
All right.
So, cool. So without further ado, this is called Driving Through the Driving through the night, 5 a.m. twilight. Always wondering, can you see how I feel? I can't help thinking, is there a better place for me here? Timeless conversations in my heart. 'Cause I I keep searching. I keep asking, is this right? Is this me? Till I know I'll just drive right through the night. Driving through the night. Yeah, empty lanes, I seek the rush. Yeah, the pure escape. Checking the mirror for my life I've left behind. Cause I keep searching. I keep asking, is this right? Is this me? I know I'll just drive right through life. Driving. Cause I keep searching. I keep asking, is this right? Is this me? I know I'll just drive right through the night. Driving through the night. Cool.
All right, nice.
Yeah, thank you.
I will say I think we may have started clipping again on that one.
Okay, I'll pop it down a little bit.
I think it's like when you're like really strumming,
Yeah,
it
you're
gets a
getting a
little
bit
crazy. Let me just have you like do another quick little strum thing just so I make sure we can hear the last one.
Just try that chorus again. So I keep searching. How's that?
I think that's better. Yeah. it's
Cool.
it's
Thank you for
tough
your patience,
over
everybody watching.
the great
What we
distance
can say,
between us.
yeah, just prove that it is live.
Yeah. And if you guys want to hear the fully recorded version, where can they find it? On Spotify?
Yeah, definitely on all platforms. Spotify, SoundCloud. We've got all the music videos on YouTube. So yeah, we're on as many places as we can get them. So yeah, just you can check in our bio. We'll have a link to our Spotify, and yeah, you can find us everywhere.
So, James, tell me, who does most of the writing in your band, or would you say it's evenly divided? Does someone have a special forte?
I guess the song with the bare bones with kind of the chords and the lyrics. I will tend to, despite being the front man, I'm kind of an introvert, so I like to lock myself away and just get a song and write it and keep listening to it back until I feel that it's as good as I can get it, and then I'll bring it into the band, and then as always when the band, when it's finished rehearsing, then the band will tend to sort of contribute more like structural things, and Joe will come out with guitar lines and things like that. And the song is with you'll know in the past, and the song is first written, this is always completely different. So yeah, I mean, even though I tend to write the main structure, I think we all have an equal contribution, and we all do our best to contribute. Like for instance, in the recording process, I just sing the main lines, whereas all the backing vocals and all the big vocal sounds is all Barney's work, our drummer. So it really is an even split, and Luke's great with all the production side of stuff that people play. So it's we all do our bit in our own way.
That's awesome. That's great to hear that you guys kind of share the load, share the labor. Each person puts their own input in there. I do have to say our connection just got a little bit choppy. I'm thinking maybe I should re-add you one more time just to clear things up.
Yeah, you can do that. Sure.
All right, let me just get you right back in here. Stand by. All right, there we go.
Cool. That a little bit better.
Oh, do we have it? Much better.
Thinking about it. Cool.
It's good. It'll work. So tell me, where do you guys do most of your recording and mixing?
So with recording, we're fortunate enough. I mean, we've all just well, Barney's got another year at drummer, but we've actually all just finished. We've just finished university, but up until we've got a little basic home studio where we do all the demos in now. We're fortunate to use the studio at uni, so we do all our demos and rehearsals in there, and then Luke will mix it all back at ours, and then we head into Park Street Studios in Liverpool, which has some pretty cool bands. I think Coldplay did their debut album there, and you know, it's just we tried the first couple of records ourselves, but it really just showed how important a good producer is. And the minute it's like the light bulb moment when we worked with a producer called Alex Quinn, and he really is the magic behind all the recording stuff. So yeah, we record at Park Street.
Awesome. Wow, that's very cool, man. So so tell me what sort of message Midnight at 6 is hoping to share through the music. I know you talked about, you know, just having good times. What would you say you guys write about the most, James?
Yeah, I think yeah, just kind of definitely feel good vibes, and I think we just want to sort of spread a message that we just you know, really are kind of all about having a good time. So I guess since I tend to do the lyrics mostly, I'll probably tend to write from my own experiences. But while, you know, maybe the lyrics tell a different story, we'll nearly always try and make the song try and upbeat. So you know, even if it's maybe a bit of a melancholy message, it's got like the other side to the song is kind of upbeat and feel good. You know, so we try and just spread the you know, the good vibes as much as possible.
Sure.
And you know,
I love good vibes. Cool. Well, what are you going to play for your third and final song?
cool. So our last song I'm going to play, Chasing the Sun, which has just come out. So for everybody watching this who's streamed and listened to it and sent DMs in, thanks very much for all your support. We've currently just hit our highest monthly listeners of 7,000 on Spotify, so it's doing really well.
Which is a great account. And that's awesome.
It just seemed to, we just released it, and we were all a little bit anxious with the lockdown and things and how it's going to go. But yeah, it just seemed to just take off. Got on the radio twice over in Los Angeles, and it's been on Canadian radio. We've got some coverage in Australia as well and things. So yeah. So this song, ladies and gentlemen, is called "Chasing the Sun." It feels right to feel this, feels wrong to hold on to it. Deep down, I know I've got to let you go. You know how I feel, but for you it's not real. No fire in your eyes, no light when you smile. I'm just another one you're leading on. I'm gonna give you up, up. I was chasing the sun, 'cause you told me I'm the one, but now I'm coming undone, chasing the sun. Oh, 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 you're telling me not to worry. You and him is history. Then he makes his move, and I'll watch you follow through. I'm just another one you're leading on. I'm gonna give you up, up. I was chasing the sun, 'cause you told me I'm the one, but now I'm coming undone, chasing the sun. Where did we go? Where did we go? I was chasing the sun. Told me I'm the one, but now I'm coming undone, chasing the sun. I was chasing the sun, 'cause you told me I'm the one, but now I'm coming undone, chasing the sun. Oh, 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 oh.
Yeah, nice. Man, yeah, I can totally feel the party atmosphere. I mean, all of your songs make you just kind of want to clap along and like jump, and it's amazing. Yeah, it's really fun stuff.
Oh, thank you very much.
So, so tell me what's next for Midnight at 6. Any special news to share?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that probably already said that it's really cool that we just hit our highest amount of monthly listeners. Fortunately, we recorded 2 singles last time we were in Parr Street, and that's worked out really quite nicely because we couldn't have recorded our next single out with the lockdown. So I think around I don't want to say a date. I won't say a date. Later in this season, I think we're aiming for maybe sort of end of summertime, August. We'll have our next single, Summer, out. So yeah, we're just working on the next single. We've been contacted by an agency in Liverpool, so we're just about to sign with an agency which is going to help us build a live following once everything in the lockdown lifts and things like that. So yeah, we're looking very much forward to getting out there, and yeah, with some help as well. And it's nice that people are starting to approach us and things like that. So I guess people must like to some extent our song, so that means a lot because we just enjoy what we do, and we're really glad that grateful that people like it.
That's what it's all about. I hear you, man. So at this time, let's just open it up to the viewers. If you have any questions for James or Midnight at 6 or any members of the band who are also with us in the comments, please ask away. I'll start off though. Who is your major influence as an artist? Like, what bands have you listened to that you get inspiration from? There's some things that I hear when I hear you play. I don't know if you agree with me, but sometimes I hear a little bit of a Billy Idol. Sometimes I hear a little bit of a Ramones kind of vibe coming in there. That might just be me. You tell me.
That's interesting. No, that's really interesting to sort of to say that, because we're always. I think probably I read somewhere. I think songwriters and musicians are probably the worst people critiquing their own songs. So it's always really interesting to hear what people say we sound like. I mean, we're sort of really, we try and say that, you know, we're influenced by, you know, which we are, sort of Oasis, the Arctic Monkeys, and Stone Roses. I mean, certainly when we're starting out, but people have said that, you know, the new stuff is taking, you know, a newer sound. You know, so it could quite possibly be, you know, some bands that, you know, and things like that. You know, so, and Joe's just said there in the description, like Jimi Hendrix, you know, certainly our lead playing, you know, Luke, our keys player, he's a big fan of the Arctic Monkeys. Bands like New Order gives us more of that electronic sound.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a broad range. But yeah, that's cool. I mean, I'd never even thought of bands like that. So that's really cool that you sort of hear that.
Because there's like a cool, like, punky, grungy kind of thing I sometimes get. Maybe it's just because you're solo and there's not like all the synths and stuff, which of course brings it into like a little more of a you know, a synthetic sound. But I totally could get like a cool kind of early punk grungy sound, which is awesome. You know, it's great. So it's good to have those different influences involved in the music, and of course it's just my interpretation, but maybe someone hears that too.
Nice.
Now I saw someone ask again to explain the haircut. Would you like to go in depth there?
I knew this was going to come up. I had a question from Nikki as well, which answered. Yeah, the haircut. Who actually asked that question out of interest? Is it? Oh right, it's yeah. This. Oh yeah. Funny story. I was like, I had a bit of. Yeah, I was managed to got a bit of a obviously because, you know, with the lockdown in England, you know, there's no hairdressers open at the moment. So I sort of got an okay decent job, and I was like, well, I normally have a number 4, so I was like, I'll just touch the sides up, you know, it'll be okay. So I normally have a number 4 at the hairdressers, so you know, I'll just do that. So I put my beard trimmer on number 4, and it wasn't the same length, and I sort of went like that, and just the biggest chunk of hair just fell on the floor, and I was like,
no.
well, that's great. And I was trying to save it. I was in the bathroom for 2 hours trying to save my hair, and it just got to the point when I was just like, right, it's going to have to happen. So so yeah, so yeah, it just all went, and so yeah, that would be the story behind the haircut. And I'm sure other people in lockdown have hopefully had similar. But I didn't plan on a live stream 6,000 miles from home to show it to the world just yet. But there you go.
Yes. Well, that's amazing. That's a great story. Yeah, I've heard of a lot of people kind of doing that with their beards too, where they're like trying to just trim it and then they just shave a nice chunk. And it's like, well, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to cut my losses. No pun intended. But let's see. We had a question from Nikki that asked, any shows, international shows planned? You're gonna come to LA, play some shows in LA? I'd definitely love to see you guys.
So would we. Yeah, we'd love definitely more than that. I mean, funnily enough, when we were looking at our Spotify for artists the other day, of those 7,000 new monthly listeners, over 5,000, or I think about 5,500 now, are all in the States. So which is really cool. And I'm pretty sure Los Angeles is one of the most listened to cities. And yeah, definitely, I know it sounds cliche, the American dream, but the whole reason I started music was to sort of, and the band are all with me on this, is to you know, to tour the world and go over to the States. And I love all the whole British invasion things like that. So it is the dream. Yeah. And I can say we'll definitely do our very best to have a show at there at some point.
Yeah, I'm like, what other bands came from Liverpool? I mean, let me think about that. Does anyone else have any questions for James? Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, go on then. Have you ever been to Liverpool?
No, I have not. Actually, my girlfriend has been to London for a little bit, and she's been to India, but I've never gone international. I actually had applied for my passport right when the quarantine started, and since then, I don't know what the heck happened. I'm still waiting to receive it, but I would love to visit, absolutely.
Yeah, it's great, really. I mean, it really hit me because I come from small town, you know, where it's like when I was doing a lot of the cover work, it was, you know, your social clubs on a Friday and Saturday night with, you know, you had to play all the old 60s and 70s stuff for, you know, the older generation. And then you move to Liverpool and it's like you could go to, you know, 3 gigs a night if you wanted to. Joe says he's missing out on the great weather over here. That's Joe, our guitarist.
Yes.
It's we've had rain for about 3 days at the moment. We had a really good week of sun, and yeah, it's rain again. Apparently, it's a good week next week, but I'm sure it's much sunnier over in LA.
I hear you. The British weather certainly ain't much in LA. Okay, I see. Well, this has been a pleasure, man, and thank you again for taking the time to come and perform and tell us about what you've been up to and share your stylish new haircut. And thanks again to the band
Yeah.
as well for joining us in the chat.
No, yeah, very welcome. Thank you very much for having us, and thank you, you know, to everybody watching. And yeah, really appreciate it. It's been a laugh, and if we can help out in the future, just let us know.
Amazing. And let's see, we've got one last question here. Have you played at the Cavern? What's it like?
Oh, yeah, we have played at the Cavern. Joe, our guitarist, and myself, when the band was, I mean, it wasn't even a band, we were just sort of jamming together. And I know Barney, our drummer, has played some shows at the Cavern in other bands. And yeah, they have an open mic there every Monday. And yeah, so Joe and I would go down every week and do the songs. For one reason is before this band, I'd never sung before, and we couldn't find a singer, so I just went, all right, I'll do it. At least I'll turn up for the rehearsals. I don't know what it'll be like. So yeah, we did our sort of early shows at the.
And is that a well-known venue? I'm not familiar with it. Just tell.
Oh, the Cavern, yeah. For those people who don't know, it's where the Beatles basically started off.
Okay, there we go.
So yeah, so yeah, if when you come to Liverpool, like you will just never not see Beatles stuff, you know. So be prepared to hear their songs on when you do finally visit.
Very cool. Well, once again, thank you so much, and we're excited to see more from you guys. Love your music, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Wes, and thanks again for everybody watching and those who keep listening out there. It means a lot, and you know, all the best. And you know where we are if we can help again.
Beautiful. All right. Well, you take care.
Real. Thanks again, Wes. See you later.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, that was Midnight at 6. Thank you so much for everyone who tuned in to watch, and we'll be back again next week with another artist. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, and hope you're having a great week, and we will see you next time. Thanks again. I'm Wes Cole. Good night.